Today I want to talk about some tips for beginners that are going to help a lot if you want to become pretty good at this game or even slightly competitive at this game. Now as well, I want to say that yeah, if you just want to play the game for fun, then completely go for that. There's no shame in playing the game the way that you want to play it. But if you want to get good pretty fast, or if you want to just make so that you can play in some tournaments and have fun there, well, this video is hopefully going to help you guys a lot in that sense. With that said though, guys, let's begin. The first thing I wanted to mention here is something that happened to me a lot when I was playing Smash 4. And when you're a player that's just getting into the competitive scene or just trying to get pretty good at the game, oftentimes you're going to do this to yourself, and that is stressing over not being that good at the beginning. And I feel like this is something that you just have to kind of look at yourself and kind of catch yourself on doing, because I think this happens to the majority of players when they're just trying to get into the game. You go into a match, you play a match, and you do really bad. And that's just going to happen for a lot of players, especially if you're just starting out. Then from there, you're probably going to look at yourself and be like, hey, I'm not that good at all. This isn't that fun at all. I should be way better. People are going to think I'm trash at this game. And it just kind of goes down the rabbit hole over and over and over again. And I feel like the thing you have to remember here is that everybody, when they start at any game, including Smash Bros or whatever else, is never that good, because you don't have any experience in the game, because you don't know exactly what to do, because you don't know what all the options are, because you don't know your combos and everything else. And that's completely fine. If you're just starting in a game, no one's expecting you to be amazing at this. Even if you really want to be, and even if you're really good at another game, it might not exactly transfer over, and that's completely fine. Just learn to be patient with yourself and just realize that yeah, it does take some time, but if you put in a little bit of time, you're going to eventually see some results and enjoy the game quite a bit more. Now as well, I want to say right now, for the first few weeks, if you're really just a brand new player that wants to, play the game and get good, honestly just play the game and have fun. Now, I think that this is really important because yes, you might be giving some other players some time to get ahead of you, and you're giving up that really key time at the beginning of the game. But I feel like what's more important than just grinding the game is making sure you actually really like the game and making sure that you actually have a big connection to the game so that you're going to put more time in the long run. If you just start grinding without actually enjoying the game much because you just think it'll be a really good opportunity for yourself, you're not going to have way too much success. At least the majority of people won't have way too much success. You aren't going to have a great connection with the game, and again, I'd honestly probably recommend just playing it for fun, classic mode, all-star mode, whatever, or just playing with a lot of your friends in squad strike mode, in the Iron Man mode. There's a lot of options for yourself, but start off playing it for fun. Get into, enough matches where you can finally kind of get what you're going for, become good enough that you can kind of start feeling yourself a little bit, and then from there, start to practice and start to become better, and I think that's kind of where you should begin when you're starting in this game. Now, after you've done all of that, I'm going to say you're at the point where you can probably start working to become a lot better at the game. You already enjoy it, you already have a good connection to the game, you know what characters you like, hopefully, and if you don't, I have a thing at the card at the top right of the screen right now, I'm kind of telling you how to pick a character. But anyways, you have that all behind you, and now you're thinking, hey, what should I do? And I think for a lot of players, you're just going to start to get into a ton of games, grind the game out as much as you can, and try to figure out as much as you can by yourself. And that's completely fine. But I feel like there's something you can probably do that's going to be a little bit more useful to you, especially if you're starting to get into the game maybe like 2 weeks to a month after it comes out, when people kind of have a general idea of how to play it. And that is to go on Smash Boards or to go into YouTube and look up general guides on how to play the certain character that you want to play. Now I'm going to say right here that yeah, if you want to just learn everything by yourself, that's completely fine. But it comes with a problem, and that's that you're going to take a long time to learn stuff that other people, simply put, can find out faster because they have a ton of experience in previous games. For example, for myself, I played Smash 4 for like 4 years. I've learned just about everything every character can do, well, a lot of what every character can do, and I can apply the majority of that knowledge to Smash Ultimate. With you though, you're going to have to start from complete scratch, and that's going to make so that it takes forever to catch up. However, if you watch a guide from a player that knows what they're talking about, how to use every single move, and you take that knowledge for yourself, you're going to improve just drastically over one day. I've had so many friends that just kind of were stuck at a plateau, didn't know what to do, didn't know what they were doing wrong, but then eventually watched the Aiza Art of Certain Character video and immediately became like 10 times better because they understood what their game plan is now, what they have to do, what moves are good, what moves are bad, when they're good, when they're bad, and they didn't have to do all that testing for themselves. Of course, yes, you can still test everything. Of course, yes, you can still put in effort after you know your general game plan, but I think you can really skip a step with this. And yeah, you're still gonna have to put a lot of work in the future to become better and better, but this gives you a really good beginning ground that otherwise you're just not gonna have, and that otherwise is gonna really frustrate you because you're not gonna do that good unless you kind of know in general what your character has to do. As well, I should say right here, oftentimes if you're just 100% playing versus your local friends, you're gonna learn really bad habits that are going to kind of get ingrained in your mind. I think the most obvious example is someone like a Bowser using his down B all the time, the Bowser bomb, when people are below him, because, you know, it works versus your friends. I didn't know one of my friends that did this a lot, but eventually saw a video about how that's not going to work against everyone, how it can be countered, and how that should maybe be part of your game plan sometimes, but not all the time. You can really learn bad habits by just not knowing exactly what moves do what and when they do it, because it works against your local friends. So kind of getting, again, a general understanding of every move, it's going to help you a lot, and it's going to make so that you don't really get stuck on hiccups that you might have put yourself into in other situations. The third thing I'm going to say is a tip that I've actually used in the past, but I think is really going to apply here, and that's that you should pick up a main 1 month before the game comes out, or probably right now before the game comes out. And even if the game is already out, pick up a main and pick up a character that you really enjoy, maybe after a week or two of playing the game, and stick to that character for at least a month, or at least 3 weeks or something like that. Because what this will do is it'll give you time to learn the general engine of the game. If you're getting into Smash Bros. And you're just trying out every single character, that's completely fine. But after like a week or two, you're probably just going to have to start learning the character's abilities more than learning the actual game itself, and that's going to hinder you a ton. For example, if I play Mario, and then Link, and then Luigi, and then Bowser, and then all these different characters, I'm going to have to learn every single one of their moves, how every single one of them interact, all of that, instead of just learning how the basic gameplay works, which I could probably learn a lot faster if I was just playing Mario that entire time. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be locked into this character forever. If you play one character for 1 month and then decide you don't like them, then yeah, you can switch off to the next character. But you're going to have so much more fundamentals than everyone else, be so much better at spacing, getting damage, combos, knowing how everything works in this game, and you're not going to be locked into a character forever. So I think overall, it's a really good thing to start with. It'll make sure that you aren't overwhelmed by the vast amount of characters. And honestly, if you don't know who to play at all, just pick a random character and main them for 3 weeks or maybe a month. And if you find out you really don't like them, then you can say, hey, I don't like them, I'll play someone else. But you'll already have gotten all that benefit of playing that character. So in the end, there's a lot of benefit to this, and I don't think like the negative really is way too much. The final thing I'm going to say here for beginners is that I think a lot of beginners are really afraid of going to tournaments. And for myself, for a long time, I was actually really afraid of going to tournaments. And honestly, I haven't been to way too many tournaments in general because, they're pretty far away. But if you can get yourself to go to tournaments, you probably should. Because the one thing that I think a lot of beginners are afraid of is that, if I go to a tournament, everyone's going to expect me to play really well. And then if I play kind of badly because I'm just getting into the game, everyone's going to roast me a ton. At least in my experience, and from what I've heard, that doesn't really happen way too much. Oftentimes, if you're going into a scene brand new, people are actually really open to you coming into their game because they want more players, because they want more people to fight. Some people want people to destroy, some people want people to teach. There's a lot of different opportunities for you. And honestly, if you go to a tournament and you're not that great, the best thing for you that's going to happen is that you're going to learn how to become a lot better. You're going to learn what all your bad things you're doing are, and people are oftentimes just going to straight up tell you what you need to practice. And a lot of the times, if you're just looking at your own gameplay or even looking at guides, you might not really come to see what you need to practice. But if you're with other players that are quite a bit better than you, you're going to find that out pretty quickly. Now, another thing I love about tournaments is that it gives you a way to kind of test how good you are and test how good you are becoming. Because if you keep going to them, and even if you keep doing bad, if you eventually win your first game, then you're like, hey, I got quite a bit better. Then you win your first set, hey, I got even better. And then you keep winning more and more and more. You can keep getting better and better and better. And even if your goal in the end isn't to actually win tournaments, but just to become a little bit better at the game, or just to become good enough at the game that you can really enjoy it and have a lot of fun versus your friends, both those situations, tournaments can help you out quite a bit with. Now, here I'm talking about local tournaments where you're playing against people locally with really big super majors and majors like EVO and CEO. Those probably aren't the best place to do this, but in a lot of your more local scenes, there's a lot of friendly people, a lot of good experiences that you had, and as well, you can find a lot of friends to play with that are also very close to you, so you can play against them online and have really good ping versus them. So overall, there's a lot of good stuff for this here. So overall, it's one of those things that is really scary to start doing, and I know a lot of people that don't want to get into it. And for myself, again, for a long time, I didn't really want to get into it. But now I do really see the benefits. I'm going to start going to even my own locals a lot more when Smash Ultimate comes out. And I'd also recommend, go to as many as you can or as many as you want to. Learn from all of those and then apply that to yourself in the future. And that's going to be super useful and make the game, honestly, a lot funner, especially if you're a competitive player. Now, if you're just a casual player, even going to a few tournaments can actually help you, again, kind of figure out what you're doing bad. You really don't have to worry about winning these at all. You can even just go to them for fun and just play friendlies and maybe play doubles. And honestly, I have some completely casual people that really like to do that. So there's actually some benefit for both these types of players. Obviously, competitive is a little bit better, but both really do actually have a home here. And, that's at least my own opinion with all of that. But anyways, there you guys go. Those are all my opinions about 4 things that you can do as a new player to Smash Bros. That wants to get pretty good at the game, or that's just a beginner that wants to become an intermediate or an advanced player. Now, I should say right here, if you want to just know exactly what to do at the very beginning, if you have to learn like all the technical tips and everything, all the terms, I mean, there are some actual Smash Bros. Videos on the actual Smash Bros. Channel with Xander Mobus, the announcer, telling you how to use tilts, how to use your attacks, how to use everything. So if you're a very beginning player, I'll try to link that down in the description below or the comment section down below, and then you can kind of move on to this video once you become a little bit better. With all that said though, guys, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below what you're going to do in Smash Ultimate to become a little bit better, or who you want to main Smash Ultimate and why, because, I don't know, I just really like to read what characters people like to play. As always though, guys, top right of the screen right now, a card to a playlist of more Smash Ultimate discussion videos. Subscribe to see more videos like this in the future, and press the notification bell so it actually shows up. As always, guys, thank you for watching, and have a smashing day.